Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Almost Brothers podcast. Thank you for joining us yet again. Hope you didn't turn your volume up and just bust your eardrums out. Thank you for joining us again on today's episode. This is going to be a fire topic. Jeremiah, big brain. We're going to be talking about big brain. We're going to be talking about having your mind made up. Let's go. Big brain.
It's like Big Bird.
Big Bird. Man, he used to scare me. Mm-hmm. Like legit.
It's
like
kind of terrifying.
Oh, man. And what was the one? Is it Oscar the Grouch that was in the trash can?
Yeah.
He used to scare me too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All the Muppets are kind of scary.
Yeah, they really are. They're creepy looking.
Yeah.
Man.
How are you?
I'm not bad.
You
not
look
bad,
great.
Dude. Well, thank you.
Yeah. You have a good night in there with the youth?
Dude. Oh, man.
I seen you had tape all over the floor, and there was a pretty good turnout tonight, wasn't there?
It was all, it was awesome. And just, man, these kids they're awesome. I told them, tonight, they're just some of the best group of kids that I've dealt with. I mean, they're just so awesome, man. They're taking notes and they're paying attention. It's just awesome, man.
It's good.
I'm blessed, man. Blessed to be able to be here with them. But how was your evening? How was service out?
It was good. Yeah, it was really good.
Bringing the heat. What do you think of that?
It was encouragement tonight.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Encouragement.
It was good.
Man, you got a haircut?
I did.
Killing it, man.
Yeah.
You got a great head of hair, though.
Thank you.
Mine gets a little curly and, what is it? Wavy.
It's wavy.
Yeah. It gets a little bit hard to handle, but.
Little frizzy sometimes.
Yeah. How's class going?
Not too bad. It actually looks really good. Did you cut it too? Because it was... No, you're letting her go, ain't you?
I just go. Oh, yeah, you're letting her go. I can't get too. It starts getting like split ends almost. If it gets too long, it's the black coming out. So it gets real dry. Oh man, I feel bad for my sisters. Like they've got dad's side and the real curly, crinkly hair, and it's hard to tame. So yeah. Oh, but man, this is a good. I'm excited for this topic, man.
Yeah, I got to warm up on it a little bit last night in our recovery class. I don't even know really where it came from, but we started off going one direction and then ended up just not really being rough on them, but just being very real with them.
Raw and that's the best sometimes. Because people are everywhere is sugar coated. Everything. Oh, don't you worry, you're great. And it's like, sometimes no, you're not. Sometimes you suck. Yeah. You need to change. So that's good, man.
Well, I deal with a lot of men and women both who, they're going to class and recovery classes and parenting classes. They've had their kids taken or whatever, and they got to do these things to get their kids back. But I mean, realistically, some of them do not really have the desire to change. They're just going to do what they have to do to get back to life as normal, the way they want it, and do their thing. And that's not the case with all of them, but some of them, yes. And so I guess I just got a little fed up with it last night and just said, you got to make up your mind. Yeah. You got to get bullheaded with it. Because I can remember when I was doing what I wanted to do, it didn't matter to what lengths I had to go to, I would do whatever it took, to get whatever I was wanting to do.
Right.
My mind was made up. If I was going to go out and I was going to go drinking, and I was going to go do that. Yeah. Nobody could tell me any different. Yeah. Nobody could tell me to stop. And so it's the same way whenever we decide to make a commitment to the Lord or make a commitment not to do something, whatever it would be. And, we just started talking about the power of the made up mind. And once we set our mind on something, we can accomplish just about anything. We're amazing creatures in that way.
Oh, that's good. And you won't make any excuse for yourself.
Yeah.
Like to justify it. Like, oh, well, I'm not that bad, or
right.
Oh man, that's so.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I thought we could talk about is just, and we can go so many directions with this.
Yeah.
But it's just the power of the power that you have when you really make up your mind.
Yeah.
Pastor Tim this morning, he was talking about our free will that we have, and that's to make the right decision or to make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
And, so when we make up our mind that we're going to make right decisions and we're going to live a righteous life, then man, there's very little that can keep us from doing that.
Right. Man. And when you brought it up, it got me instantly thinking about, one, it's such an amazing topic, but two, it makes me think about school. Like I'm in this math class, and with math, I'm 35 years old, knowing that I'm really never going to need to know this. So instantly I make up my mind, I'm not going to need to know this. So I almost check out. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm struggling to get caught back up and make sure I get to, pass this class. So it's like, it hit me like, as soon as you sound like, oh, that's good. Because I get in this class and I've already made my mind up. I'm never going to use this. So there's no need to actually learn it. Mm-hmm. And I go, oh crap, I actually need to get through this class. Like it's a class I have to have.
Yeah.
And I think that is it in all of our lives, man. I remember with me and Jamie, man, it's crazy. This just came to my mind. When we were struggling and I was out partying and just living in the world, I remember we had a calendar up on the wall, and we've never really had one, and I had one put up, and I walked past it one day and I said, man, I've got to get my act together. I'm about to lose my family. I'm about to lose everything. And I remember writing down on that camera, day one of change. And I made my mind up that day that things are going to be different. I'm going to be a better husband. I'm going to be a better father. I'm going to be a better person, a better Christian. And it really does, man. There's so much power in that. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that it's so hard for us to, because I think the thing is we don't want to make up our mind because we know once I made it up, I'm going to do it. So we want to play that fence hopping.
I know for me personally, I always wanted to leave that door open that I could go back, even if I had 6 months, 8 months, 10 months of sobriety, I never wanted to say, well, I'm never going to do that again because I may want to do that again someday.
Right. And
much like your situation there, I remember waking up one day and God really showed me that I was I didn't like see a vision or anything like that, or he didn't like speak to me, Jeremiah. You know what I mean? It was just in my spirit. I could see clearly that I was going to lose my wife and I was going to be all alone and that I was going to be, in trouble. And I don't know. I felt, man, I don't know how to explain it even, but I felt it. And then I knew things were going to get really bad for me if I didn't stop. And I was kind of at a fork in the road. And so I told God, I said, I'm for real this time. I really want to quit and I need you to help me do it. Right. And it was that simple. And I made up my mind that I wasn't going to do it anymore. And God gave me the strength to up to this day that, I mean, I have no desire to go back to that lifestyle. No, I don't even have triggers. I talk with my clients all the time about triggers and cravings and things like that.
Right.
Man, when I made up my mind that I didn't want to do that anymore, God stepped in and did his part.
Yeah.
He empowered me and he took the desire from me. He gave me the strength. He did everything. He provided all that. All I had to do was make up my mind that I wanted to surrender that to him.
Right.
And he just swoops in and takes care of it.
Just like he's waiting on, like,
he didn't remove it from me. Cause there was a lot of times I can remember going to the altar and I can remember praying, God, just, take the desire from me and all that. But I know I had still had reservations where those were like half-hearted prayers.
Right.
And so that's why it never, it never really worked for me before, because I would walk out of the church knowing that I wasn't done.
Right.
I may have went through the motions and I may have looked like I, surrendered it all and had people. I can remember being in church one time and I had my uncle and half the deacons and I was up there and there was just a mob of people praying for me. They were going to get me delivered. You know what I mean? And bless their heart, I'm glad they were there to do that. But I knew, even as I'm kneeling down at the altar right then and there, that I was not done.
Right.
If I want to be real and I want to be honest with myself, I knew I wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be, but I knew I wasn't.
Yeah.
And if that makes sense to everybody.
Oh no, you're in my message from tonight, dude. Talking about running the race, and we carry this baggage with us, and we'll be like, oh God, I've got it under control, or that one day we say, okay, I'm going to lay it down, and we lay it down knowing that, all right, I'm going to start this, I'm going to start the path you want me to, but I'm going to go back and pick it up later. Yeah. Knowing that, like we do. Oh, that's so good.
Yep.
And man, it's I can't remember where I heard it, but God will do everything that you can't do and nothing that you can.
That's good.
Like he will wait there for you. Are you ready now? Are you? I'm gonna do all this that you can't do, but I'm not gonna make you choose to do it until you make up your mind. I'll let you. You want to chase that? Go ahead. But I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna be with you.
Right.
But and it's we talk about we were doing our Bible study yesterday, and we were talking about life and death being in the power of the tongue. And we think about that, like very literally, like, you talk to your brother, you talk to somebody and you downgrade them and like you're speaking death on them. But many times it comes in the form of talking to ourselves. You could speak death into yourself just by not making up your mind or making up your mind to go the wrong way. You're talking to yourself, speaking death into your life before you even go and do it. Just like you said at the altar, you're sitting there knowing, you're telling yourself, I'm going to go back and do it. So you're already speaking yourself into that. So it's like, man, it's so easy, but so hard, because we want to leave the door cracked. We want to say, yeah, but it's really not that bad. Like I can just do it a little bit. I mean, I've got it under control. It's especially when it comes to, alcohol, drugs, pornography, something like that. It's like, well, I don't do it as much as I did, so I'm getting better. But it's like, but God says you are a new creation. You don't have to just do a little bit. Like He said, lay it at my feet, not lay some of it at my feet. Right. But we want to hold on to it just a little bit. Just hold on to this. And I think that's something God hit me real hard about. Just about what I speak. Just talking about, like I'll complain about like something that Jamie does. Like one thing that got on me last week, where this is where God checked me, is like she parks her car behind mine and I leave first. So every morning I've got to move her car out of the way so I can go out. Shame on you. And I'm like actively complaining about this. And God's like, what are you complaining about? Why are you speaking that? Like, why are you getting upset? It's something so stupid. But I'm starting my day off upset because I've got to take 35 seconds to move a car. It's like, look at the good things about such an amazing wife, an amazing mother, and my best friend, and all these things. I'm like, why am I upset with her first thing in the morning? It's like, it's so stupid. Yeah. It's like, just speak a lot, make up your mind to speak life into that and make up your mind. I'm not going to complain about this stupid stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's such a good time. Oh, man, it hit me, dude. That's so good, man.
Something that Missy and I were talking about on the way home from church, is I can remember being in jail, and I remember I was crying out to God, and I was like, I need you, and I probably hadn't prayed in 10 years, or, I can remember being in that situation, and I was just desperate for, I knew it, I needed God. I knew that was my only answer. And, I felt like he told me that, cause here, let me just back up a little bit. God desires a relationship with us more than anything. Yeah. He just wants that intimate relationship with us. He wants us to talk to him like, we would as if he was our father or our best friend. And he is our source for everything that we need. And that's what he wants to be for us. Yeah. And so there would be times whenever I would put him in his proper role, and I would cry out to him, God, I need your help. I need you to, forgive me. And I need, I want a relationship with you. And I would they call them foxhole prayers. Yeah. But I can remember him telling me, like, if the only place that you're going to seek my face and desire a relationship with me is in jail, then why don't I just keep you in jail?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I need to figure out how to do this outside of here.
Yeah.
And it was really, this stuff, it took, I'm almost 10 years removed from that experience that I'm talking about.
Right.
I didn't instantly get out of there and change my life around like I told him I was going to do.
Yeah.
I still had to, go through some things, and, I praise God for everything that I went through. I'm so thankful that I lived through it. One, I wish that I had that testimony that a lot of people do, where they, were saved as a kid. They've always been in church, and they've never stolen candy, and they've never, they've never, they just, there is no better testimony.
Right.
Sometimes I hear people that have that kind of testimony say, well, I can't get up and give a testimony. Like, you have the best,
right.
You have the best one,
right.
And just because I know that it's people that have battled addiction and are in recovery and have overcome a lot of things, self-induced things, by the way. They kind of, get this whole, they got such a good story, such a good testimony. No, it's a horrible story,
right?
But it has a happy ending,
right? It's like you weren't there through it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I went through everything that I did. It taught me a lot. If anything, it taught me about God's grace and God's mercy and His never-ending love.
Yeah.
Even at my worst, I could call on Him and He would wrap His arms around me and I'd feel His love, even at my worst. And so I learned a lot about God through all that stuff. And then I also learned about how to help others now that I'm in the position that I'm in now. I'm getting to counsel people and teach some groups and some classes. And, God has just really opened the doors. And I know we've talked about this before, but He's just, He's using me now in a way that I never thought was even possible. And I can see that all those things I went through happened for a reason. And yes, they were tough. Yes, there was a lot of sadness. There was a lot of hurt, but man, now it's all getting turned around for His glory.
Yeah.
And building His kingdom and just spreading hope to other people. Yeah. That you don't have to look very far and you can find a lot of hopeless people, and this time of year is so hard for a lot of people because the holidays coming up and, there's a lot of hurting people. And I love getting to, share Jesus with them and just share with them that they have hope, and I can point them to the answer now.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything after that.
Why not?
That is good.
Yeah. Well, it's all God, man.
That's good.
He kind of, I don't know. I was hard headed. I had to kind of go through some things, but you know what? He's our best friend, and He's going to walk with us through no matter, if you're out there and you're going through some things, man, just don't give up. Keep moving forward. Know that, man, just know that there's hope and that, all you have to do is call out to God wherever you're at, and He'll meet you right there, and then get your butt in church. You want to go ahead and close this out? Because I think I'm spent right now. I'm about to cry.
Thank y'all for joining us. Almost Brothers Podcast. If you don't have a home church, check out the Lighthouse in Dexter. Be blessed.